Audio Jungle.
Hello, my name is Swagu Francis. I'm from Nigeria. Welcome to my YouTube channel of learning how to say different words and phrases in different languages. You want to learn how to say good night in 40 different languages? I've got that for you. We'll start with Spanish. In Spanish, you want to say good night, you say Buenas noches. Buenas noches. In Portuguese, you want to say good night, you say Boa noite. Bonne noite. Bonne noite. In French, you want to say good night, you say Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit. In Romania, you want to say good night, you say Noapte buna. Noapte buna. Noapte buna. In Italian, you want to say good night, you say Buona notte. Buona notte. Buona notte. In Catalan, you want to say good night, you say Bona nit. Bona nit. Bona nit. In Mandarin Chinese, you want to say good night, you say Wan an. Wan an. In Japanese, you want to say good night, you say Oya Suminasa. Oya Suminasa. Oya Suminasa. In Korean, you want to say good night, you say annyeonghi jumuseyo. Annyeonghi jumuseyo. Annyeonghi jumuseyo. In Cantonese, you want to say good night, you say man on. Man on. Man on. In Thai language, you want to say good night, you say Latri Sawad. Latri Sawad. Latri Sawad. In Vietnamese, you want to say good night, you say Shugungon. 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 In Afrikaans, you want to say good night, you say Hoya nag. Hoya nag. Hoya nag. In German, you want to say good night, you say Gute nacht. Gute nacht. Gute nacht. In Norwegian, you want to say good night, you say Good nacht. Good nacht. Good nacht. In Dutch language, you want to say good night, you say Goede nacht. Goede nacht. Goede nacht. In Turkish language, you want to say good night, you say Iyi Geceler. Iyi Geceler. Iyi Geceler. In English, you want to say good night, you just say good night. Good night. Good night. In Russian, you want to say good night, you say Spokoinoy noche. Spokoinoy noche. Spokoinoy noche. In Czech, you want to say good night, you say Dobrou nok. Dobrou nok. Dobrou nok. In Croatian language, you want to say good night, you say Laku nok. Laku nok. Laku nok. In Polish language, you want to say good night, you say Dobrou noc. Dobrou noc. Dobrou noc. In Serbian language, you want to say good night, you say Laku nok. Laku nok. Laku nok. In Slovenian language, you want to say good night, you say Lako nok. Lako nok. Lako nok. The next language is Arabic. In Arabic, you want to say good night, you say Leila Seida. Leila Seida. Leila Seida. The next language is Hebrew. In Hebrew, you want to say good night, you say Laila Tov. Laila Tov. Laila Tov. The next language is Greek. In Greek, you want to say good night, you say Kalinita. 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 The next language is Hindi. In Hindi, you want to say good night, you say Shub Latri. Shub Latri. Shub Latri. The next language is Icelandic. In Icelandic language, you want to say good night, you say Guda not. Guda not. Guda not. The next language is Finnish. In Finnish language, you want to say good night, you say Uva uweta. Uva uweta. Uva uweta. The next language is Hungarian. In Hungarian, you want to say good night, you say You esakat. Esakat. You esakat. You esakat. The next language is Ukrainian. In Ukrainian, you want to say good night, you say Nado branish. Nado branish. Nado branish. The next language is Danish. In Danish language, you want to say good night, you say good natt. good natt, good natt. The next language is Irish. In Irish language, you want to say good night, you say hawa, hawa, hawa. Next language is Swedish. In Swedish language, you want to say good night, you say good natt, good natt. Next language is Welsh. In Welsh language, you want to say good night, you say nosta, nosta, nosta. Next language is Tagalog. In Tagalog, you want to say good night, you say maganda gabi, maganda gabi, maganda gabi. Next language is Malay language. In Malay language, you want to say good night, you say selamat malam, selamat malam, selamat malam. The next language is Zulu language. In Zulu language, you want to say good night, you say lala kali, lala kali, lala kali. The next language is Swahili. In Swahili, you say usiku wema, usiku wema, usiku wema. These are the words for good night in 40 different languages. I hope you got some for yourself. Comment below to tell me your favorites or your favorites. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Obrigado.